mine, which is probably why I figured out how the murder was done in this the second it happened, and was a little bit bored for the rest of the book. Hi, it's Ricarda, aka the 0.33 Bookworm, and I am today going to tell you about this book. If you are in the market for a Christmas murder mystery, I recommend this book so much. It's currently out under the name A Christmas Party, which, okay. The original title was Envious Casca, which, to my mind, contains a little bit more of a clue to what happens in it, but it is really good. It's by Georgette Heyer, whom you may be more familiar with for her Regency romances, but she also wrote a lot of mysteries, and this is part of the Inspector Hemingway series. On the back cover, it actually has a quote: "Miss Hayer's characters and dialogue are an abiding delight to me," by Dorothy L. Sayers. What higher endorsement can there be? This is a classic country house story. You have a large dysfunctional family meeting at a country house. You have a lot of characters who have reasons to hate each other and want to murder each other. You have the very grumpy brother who actually owns everything. Then you have his younger brother who's an actor, and he's very he's very much a lovey. His wife, who cares about two things, and one of them I think is sort of knitting. Is it knitting or crochet? And the other thing is that she is reading a biography of Empress Elizabeth of Austria, and that's a little bit of a specialty of mine, which is probably why I figured out how the murder was done in this the second it happened, and was a little bit bored for the rest of the book. I actually tried this out on other Austrians, and even mentioned to them that the fact that she's reading a biography of Elizabeth of Austria is a massive clue. And no, still almost figured it out. So that should not hamper the enjoyment of this book. It's a bloody good mystery. I love it. The characters, some of them are just so unpleasant, and you really don't feel bad for the guy who gets killed, because he's not a very nice person, obviously. I think it is very often quite funny. I think the reason why I recommend this book so much as a Christmas mystery, and I love a Christmas mystery, I love a Christmas ghost story. Those are two things that I like to read around Christmas. I'm not that into Christmas romances. They just don't make me as happy. And I will every year reread Hogford. But this one, I think I'll probably actually read it again this Christmas, because I want to see how I feel knowing that I already know the solution, and if I still enjoy it as much. Because I think what I really enjoyed about this book is just the feeling that I knew more than all the other characters. And it is just, if you know certain things, then it is being telegraphed so heavily. And I love it because it is so unbelievably clever. It's a really clever mystery. They're really interesting characters. It is such a classic murder mystery set in such a classic, Christmas atmosphere. You have the fighting, you have the people forming little alliances with each other. You have this really awful family, and everybody wanting money and not trusting each other, and some outsiders in there who really wish they didn't have to be in this situation. And then you have Inspector Hemingway, showing up and trying to figure out how this impossible murder was done in a locked room. And then you have, you know, because this is what happens in this kind of story, obviously they have a wall full of exotic weaponry. And obviously, at some point, one of these pieces of exotic weaponry goes missing. I really, really love this book. I had tremendous fun reading it. I personally prefer the title Envious Casca, but I can see why that might not sell as much. So I generally will always give any Georgette Heyer a chance, whether it's her crime fiction or her Regency era novels. If you're not familiar with Georgette Heyer, I would definitely give this a chance. When it comes to crime fiction, I will do another video about one of her Regency romances, because she kind of invented the genre of the Regency romance. And when I worked in a second-hand bookshop, we never got any of the Georgette Heyer crimes novels in. We only ever got the romances. We had a constant argument about whether she belonged in romance, general, or classics. And I think we usually put her in classics because it is just, I think she deserves to be in classics. And I really think that if you are looking for a fun, entertaining, and intelligent Christmas read, murder mystery, I absolutely recommend this one. Probably, if you wanted other recommendations for that, for a Christmas murder mystery, there's The Adventure of the Christmas Pudding, which is, I think, a short story featuring Hercule Poirot. I like that a lot. Hercule Poirot's Christmas is okay. I prefer the Christmas Pudding one. I also like Tied Up in Tinsel, and I think, is it called The Abominable Snowman? I'm not sure. I will drop it in the I will drop it below, but those are my favorite Christmas murder mysteries. Obviously, there's a slew of new ones every year that come out, but and sometimes there's a good one in there, but I have to say the last few years I've done better with the classics, and this is my all-time top Christmas murder mystery recommendation, and I hope you give it a go. If you already know it, please do comment below. Let's try and keep it spoiler-free, but I would love to know other people who've read it. When did you figure out what was going on? And did you figure it out, or did you have to wait for the solution? I'll be back soon with more book recommendations and more stories of how I got into the books that I have. And I hope you have a lovely evening. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.